For a long, long time now, we have been sharing this plane I call Gaia, or we can call Earth, with many beings that I could consider unseen. Of course, we know that the microscopic world is unseen as well. A mushroom won't be there, and the next day it'll be there. So there's different systems that exist within this realm that are unseen. And with the AI explosion in the last decade, I can more than assume that due to the evidence and research that cryptids and jinn, they are hiding much easier now because of the AI explosion. They tend to camouflage with the artificial intelligence, and you won't really be able to discern what's real and what's not. So, cryptids, jinn, and fae, I found it's much easier for them to blend in with the society. And in these categories, we have to understand that there's different levels of entities sitting between the dimensions of shadow and light, or however you want to explain it. You have the mythical beings, extraterrestrials, crypto-botanical, then you have the atmospheric, and all of these. The crypto-botanical, they're more of plant life and things like that. They live within the tree systems and everything, but they are yet different entities that sit outside of our dimension, but yet they're still here with us. If you ever hear somebody say, I am of this world, but I am not in it, that is exactly who they are. Now, one of the main categories that I would consider a cryptid would be that of the Sasquatch, or that we would call Bigfoot. In some regions, the abominable snowman. In other places, they're called the Yeti. But all of them seem to be something of old, ancient. I've heard of the Sasquatch going all the way back to the tales of Gilgamesh and the Titans. Now, in my research, I understand that from a lot of the reports, people say that they don't really find any dead carcasses of Sasquatch. And I have never heard of none that were really true finds. But one thing I can say that there is a tunnel system that exists all throughout this planet that many are aware of and many are not aware of for these cryptids. So they have their own highway. And this is what we could call Asgard, Shambhala, the Hollow Earth, and these fae for thousands of years have been known to inhabit the vast and largely unexplored networks of cave systems and tunnels and underground waterways that crisscross the whole entire planet. So they are definitely amongst us, but they just have a whole different travel plan than we do. So therefore, out of sight, out of mind, if you don't see them, therefore you don't think they're there. But these are the cryptids, these are the Sasquatch. A lot of reports say that they look very similar to giant-sized Australian Aborigines. And I can see that because, in most part, a lot of reports are not taken in because a lot of these entities are melanated, indigenous. You rarely see any of these Sasquatch having an unmelanated face. So therefore, I think a lot of people may be reluctant to report that, yes, Sasquatch could no doubt be an indigenous melanated, or what they would call black man. Yeah. As well as the aliens, everything that you know about it, because we share this universe just as much as anyone else. But yes, this is where you would go into that, the subterranean world. And that is a threshold between the jinn, the fae, and the human beings, the ether world, the world of dimensions, the worlds within the worlds within the worlds. And these underground systems are thresholds, meaning that they are the Sheol, they are the place between the surface and the underworld, because the underworld has always existed. We've heard of it since ancient Kemet, in the realm of Anubis. So it's ironic, of course, these dogmen, these cryptids, these Sasquatch, abominable snowman, where are they going after, people see them and then they disappear? These giants that they spot on top of the mountains. because they live underneath the mountains, along with the dragons and all of the other creatures are the Fae. Now, language tells us different stories because you have different perspectives with language. And the English language is a watered down language, a language of spells, misinterpretation. So in the ancient texts, it has always stated that there was a war between man and what they call the jinn or the Fae. These were the offspring. These are the days when the fallen came and they slept with the dolphins. You know, they slept with the whales, the sharks, and all of the other wildlife of the planet. And therefore we had hybrids, you know, and all kinds of different animals that today we don't have. They were told to have a big war, and then they went into the underworld. So that's why they're seldomly seen. But the underworld is a threshold between the physical and the spirit world. And a lot of these offsprings of angels or different other spiritual beings, jinn, they all crossbreeded with each other, and therefore another world was created within the world. And some of these are interdimensional beings. And those of us who have their DNA in our blood, we also exhibit these same abilities. So that's where you get the metahumans from. You know, you could be crossbreeded with all kinds of things spread all over the universe or the multiverse that we have, because we live in worlds within worlds within worlds within worlds. If you was to take a microscope or, you know, and you put your eye to the ground, you would see a whole world that you didn't know exists just in there alone. And on our flesh as well, on our skin. There's a whole different world going along that we don't even know, as well as internally. So the unseen does exist. Now we can get to the aquatic beings. These are going to be the mermen, the sirens, the mer people. A lot of sightings are always usually in Africa, Jamaica, Haiti. All of them are known for dealing with the sea people, the water people. Because of course, the water is a whole different world within the world. And in the water world, they have a whole different system of communication and how they communicate. So it's foreign to us because we're the land dwellers, just as well as the inner world, which is the hollow earth, is going to be foreign to us. So these are already three systems, and now there's another system. This is the atmospheric system. These beings are more multidimensional than anyone because they know how to jump through the portals and the time. So most of the time they'll be more advanced. This is when we're going into that realm. So there's levels. There's levels and dimensions, just like our chakras, rather 12 system chakra, 13 chakra. There's also dimensions in heavens, or dimensions within this world. Some of our eyes, some of us who advance as we get 30 and 40 and 50, we'll start to see these worlds intertwine with each other. But this is an understanding of it. So this is the category of entities, you know. Now the crypto-botanical